For WCLU Local News, I'm Wes Royce, and I'm joined with Detective Mickey Atwood and Sergeant Terry Flatt of the Glasgow Police Department, who have been nice enough to meet with me today to address a concern that I've been seeing in these press releases in the newsroom that come in. Over the last 5 or 6 weeks, we've had several missing persons alerts, several golden alerts, and a majority of those are younger people, teenagers. And so the reason I wanted to come here today to interview you all is because I feel like as a father and as a member of the media and a member of society, we have an obligation to educate people and let them know some of the warning signs that they could see to maybe where we don't have a missing person, because most of the time everybody's located, they're safe, but that's not always the case, is it?
No, usually, typically some of the warning signs starting off will be staying out late, whether it be a juvenile, during the week, staying out late. Sometimes they won't come home from school on time, or they stay over at a friend's house excessive amount of time, doing less in school than normally. Everything from lying to the parents, all the way up to drug abuse. Some of them are the warning signs of, kind of give you a heads up, maybe something going on with your teenage kid or even an adult as far as that goes.
And those are things that teachers and school administrators can notice. Those are things that parents should try to notice. And another thing is technology. And Detective Atwood, I know in your line of work, in today's society, technology is a lot of what you do. It's not as much as fingerprints and everything like that. There's a digital fingerprint you have to trace.
Yeah, anymore technology has gotten so advanced with all the different apps, with all the different media sources, that it's actually becoming a problem in this nature. Our society has become conducive to allowing juveniles, younger children, to be able to distance themselves from their family and search out other means of getting noticed, accepted, that kind of thing. And with our society nowadays, where both parents are usually having to work, it's getting to where the family is breaking down, is what we're seeing, and it's a lot of it's caused because of the technology.
We have the 21st century programs in a lot of the schools that create an environment for kids to have a place to go after school, to keep them out of trouble and to keep them around positive influences in their life. But at the same time, I think all of us sort of have gotten glued to these cell phones, and sometimes we're spending more time looking at the phone than paying attention to what our children are doing. And I think that's something we just have to fix. It's like quitting anything else.
That's if I had any advice to give parents nowadays, it's put your phones down. Have your children put their phones down. Spend time with your kids. Relearn your kids. I would say that probably most people don't eat at a table for supper anymore.
But they need to.
If they do, they are all sitting around their phones while they're doing it, and it's causing a disconnect in the family. And once again, those children are going to find somebody that's going to pay attention to them. And there's a lot of people out there that are not good for them. That's going to be the ones that they're going to, they'll love to pay attention to them.
And Sergeant Flatt, I think one of the things that we talked about a couple days ago is this can happen to anybody. I was listening to Glenn Beck on Sunday on our AM station. He had a son who was absolutely being targeted by a predator through a way you wouldn't expect, through a video game, which now, when you play video game, you play with other people.
Right.
Other people watch you, and he was being targeted that way. So every day, I know you've got to be the one sending out the press releases, but how can folks better distribute information about, first of all, seeing the warning signs, and second of all, at the same time, social media can be a good tool for when they do go missing.
Social media has been a great tool for us, especially over the past month or so. We've got the word out there. Hey, we've had 2 or 3 juveniles come up missing, and usually within 24 to 48 hours, once we put it out, they are located.
Yes.
That's not been the case with one adult we still have entered as missing. But usually social media is a big help on our end of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to what your children are doing. Notice the technology they're using and use yours less, because your job as a parent, number one, is to make sure your kids are okay. And we don't want them to go into a situation that they might not come back from. So,
Keep them enrolled in after school programs, sporting events. Keep them, them's both good tools. That's very inexpensive to operate. It's cheap to get somebody enrolled in, sporting events, that type of stuff, versus being glued to a cell phone or video game.
and it's cheaper to eat at home too. So
Yeah.
eat at the dinner table and
And,
leave the phones in the other room.
and it don't cost nothing to show your children attention.
Doesn't. You're exactly right. Thank you so much, guys, and I appreciate all that you do for the community, and thank you for this bit of education. Hopefully
you.
somebody will learn something from it.
Thank you.
Thank you.